Welcome to qnawire.
Okay, so here is the Lewis structure for aspirin. And so the first part of the problem wants to know the angles of 1, 2, and 3, and the second part wants to know hybridization of those same angles. So I'm actually going to combine both of these ideas into one. So if we look at this bond angle here, we have a hydrogen to an sp2 carbon to an sp2 carbon. So this carbon here at the center of the angle is going to be sp2. And so there might be a table in your chapter, and what you want to know and what you want to realize is that sp2 carbons have a bond angle of around 120 degrees. And this is because the way that you can think of it is you have a carbon is attached to 3 groups. So if you do 360 divided by 3 gives you 120. So for 2 is kind of similar. You also have an sp2 carbon, so your bond angle here is going to be about 120 degrees as well. It might be a little bit different because now you have an oxygen here, but it's going to be about 120 degrees. If you look at this bond angle 3, which is around your oxygen atom, so this oxygen here is sp3. And so if you remember, sp3 atoms, or sorry, sp3 carbons have a bond angle of 109.5. However, in this case, because you have oxygen, you have these 2 lone pair of electrons, and so your lone pair of electrons are going to repulse away from each other and actually make this bond angle less than 109.5. And I guess I should say, I kind of gave it away a little bit earlier, but an sp3 carbon has a bond angle of about 109.5. When you have a bent oxygen here, this angle is going to be less than 109.5. And the last part wants to know the number of sigma bonds. So when you're thinking about sigma bonds, these are all going to be your single bonds. Anytime you see a pi bond is going to be your double bonds. So for example, if you look at this carbon-carbon bond here, this carbon-carbon bond is a sigma bond, and this other carbon-carbon bond is a pi bond. So if we go through, I should have done that in a different color, but if we go through, we can count the number of sigma bonds that we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So we have 21 sigma bonds. And if you were interested in counting the number of pi bonds, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you would have 5 pi bonds.